From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big morning of Mornings LA with great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. The breaking news is that the Senate and the House got the debt ceiling limit issue done overnight, and we're done with that. But there's breaking news about what Joe Manchin did with it, and it's great news. Then we're going to go to that incredible recon that is now freed up with time to get done faster in the Senate, and those Senate changes are going to be robust. Are the latest details in this morning's broadcast, direct and live from Santa Monica, California. And the big breaking news this morning is that now 4 of 6 senators have said they're putting in at least one or more IRS stimulus checks, and they said that in the last 7 days. We'll go over the incredible programs in this incredible recon. What are they, and have the latest details. Third stimulus paying viewers big money and their big checks right today. How you get your bills paid today, I'm going to show you as one viewer got $130,000 this week. We'll be turning to that big student loan debt forgiveness offered by executive order and fifth stimulus as well. But one of the biggest stories of the day will be the new jobs number released this morning, and boy, it was astronomical. It was absolutely incredible, showing that this economy has very little unemployment at the moment, showing the minorities have big jobs, showing that the labor shortage is being solved, which would bring down inflation and more. It's a big morning. And we have the latest details on the big money available in the third and fourth stimulus recon. It's a great day. We have a lot of incredible breaking news. It's a jam-packed morning's broadcast. I'm excited you're here, and the excitement starts right here, right now, direct and live from Santa Monica, California. Hey, good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a beautiful morning. We are here live with you in Santa Monica, California. As the recon is now in the Senate changes will be big. 4 of 6 senators have told viewers this week that at least one IRS stimulus check is going in there. This is huge. You ain't going to hear this anywhere in the United States except the exclusive on this channel on mornings. The programs pay you a lot of money already. We're going to see how many checks are in there, upwards of $50,000. We'll be turning to the big bills available to be paid today. Under third stimulus, thousands of dollars are being paid out to viewers this week. I'll show you how to get your bills paid across the board. Student loan debt forgiveness, we'll have the latest details on that, plus the breaking news about fifth stimulus and the latest details about that major vote last night. And why did Joe Manchin show you that he always votes with the Democrats despite what anyone else thinks? Then we're going to turn to the incredible jobs number released this morning. It's huge, folks. And with that, I want you to go down to this bottom of this video and hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member to get that incredible newsletter coming out tonight at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time to my members, Purple Hawks, Purple Powers, and Calcino VIPs. Meantime, if you haven't signed up for those LA alerts, please do so right now. The incredible news as we start a big day is that recon has lots of checks in there. That'll pay you a lot more than initially thought of $15,000. It's upwards of $60,000. Get that pen and paper ready. I'm going to teach you and educate you about those incredible checks in the fourth stimulus recon starting right now with cluster number 1. Hazard pay got in there. For my earned income tax credit, my essential workers, this is one more year in there. $4,000 of elder care, got it in there. $4,000 of care for young children, got it in there. $3,600 for the CTC, child tax credit, one more year of checks, got it in there. Then they got the Pell Grant, $550 check to college students, got it in there. The home repairs, if you live in a low-income community, got that in there as well. And then one of the best provisions of the recon, a check, a hard cold cash check, $12,500 for the purchase of a new electric vehicle. Wow, got it in there. There you go. How do you get all these checks? Stay with me. I'll explain to you later in this video. The first add-on comes to the illustrious Maxine Waters here in Southern California. She wanted $25,000. It will be a little less. It is money for the first purchase of your first home. Wow. How do you get it? It's coming up in just a second. Cluster number 2 got in there, and this is a lot of incredible checks in that second cluster. They got the home repairs, they got the paid leave childcare, the pre-kindergarten, and the weatherize your home. The weatherize your home. You need to weatherize your home, especially in the holiday season, because natural disaster will hit at any moment, especially when Mitch McConnell sings. You want to have the special glass for that, yeah. Because if you saw Star Search, you know what I'm talking about. There you go. You need to weatherize against whatever Mitch sings. Let's go to this incredible second add-on, and that comes to the illustrious Bob Casey in the Senate. It is $250 billion. No, it's a little bit less. That's what he wanted for free home health care. Seniors and people with disabilities. How do you get it? It's coming up in this video. Stay with me. We go to the third cluster checks, and here comes the deliciousness. This is seniors and free internet, including tax breaks, free school meals for all checks, immigration reform. Then they got in there the farmers, the free internet, and also the independent contractors. And the money for my seniors. The money for my seniors truly embodies what's going on with House versus Senate right now, because the House members got 2 provisions in there, and the Senators have vowed to add 3 more. The 2 provisions in there on the House side are hearing and the Medicaid gap fix. The 3 added on the Senate side, they represent coming around the corner, are the lowering the eligibility age of Medicare, dental, and vision, which is much the case of what we're looking at when we're talking about MSC, which stands for multiple IRS stimulus checks. What's at issue is that the senators have always said it's a good recon, but there's a lot more to add in there. And MSC is one of the provisions they say they want to add in there. About 2 weeks ago, I started telling viewers to pick up the phone and re-advocate again, because we've been advocating since the month of May. Thousands of viewers have been told by the same 6 senators since the month of May that at least 1 or more stimulus checks IRS are going in there. But about 2 weeks ago, I really ramped up and I said, pick up the phone and call. And the breaking news you're hearing only, actually exclusive news you're hearing only on this channel right today in this early morning's broadcast, is we're now at 4 of 6 of the senators representing, yet again, it's going in there. They are now Casey, Coons, Schumer, and Sanders, which is really almost 2 people, and then Warren, all representing, so it's really 5 of 6, representing that IRS stimulus check is going in there, at least 1. It started the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Janet speaking to Chuck Schumer's office in D.C., speaking to the staffer, and being told it's going in there via Bernie Sanders. That was the first one. The second one was Lynn Glenn last Tuesday this week, speaking to the incredible Chris Coons' office and being told it's going in there. Then, the day after, Bonnie speaking to Liz Warren's office and being told it's going in there. That was yesterday. And then late last night, we had the live chat comment in the evening's LA show by Dwayne Taylor, who said, I called Casey's office and was told the same. So there you go. We are now at 4 of 6 of those senators representing it's going in there. Let's look at their names again. Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. When we talk about an MSC, what are we talking about for eligibility? Well, the senators represent they want to do the same eligibility as third stimulus. That would be single individual, 75,000 less, gets it. Married couple, 150,000 less, got it, double it. Family of 4, quadruple it. If you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, you get it as well. They've been talking about a lot of different equations, but so far it's basically at least 2 checks. What are the amounts? Still up to negotiate. They have mentioned $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter for 6 months, but that is still at issue to be modified. Now, here's what you need to know, is that you need to advocate, and that all those viewers who advocated said, I picked up the phone and advocated, which means involving telling your story of why you need at least 1 or more checks. Do not use the word MSC. They don't know what it means. Again, Casey, Coons saying it's going in there, Warren as well, and Sanders and Schumer. The one that's really just not on the list so far as saying a yes is Wyden. So we have all 5 of 6, with the exception of Wyden so far, saying it's going in there. And what they want you to do is pick up the phone and advocate and call their offices. Because guess what? We've been doing that better than any place in the United States. LALATE is now the #1 source of advocacy for stimulus anywhere in the United States, with nearly 5 million phone calls to those senators in recent weeks. Here's what the chief of staff to the #1 recon guy in that 6 senator list says. They now receive in total between congressional senators' offices receive more advocacy calls from the LA Purple Power than any place across the map. They now have a better understanding of what Americans are going through this pandemic. They have heartbreaking stories, and they're the voice of the people in ULA, as you have become too loud to be ignored. Please continue your encouragement for the continued advocacy until this becomes law. So pick up the phone today and call and speak to a staffer and advocate. The next best is a voicemail, and make that pitch. Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. But also give yourself some time to advocate for your wallet, and that involves getting the money available under third stimulus today. You're going to see in the second half of this video how viewers have gotten thousands of dollars, on average $5,000 this week per person, under third stimulus to pay your bills. You have bills to pay? I know you do. That's why you're tuning in. I'm going to show you how to get your bills paid. And you're going to see how one person got $135,000 this week. We'll be turning to that student loan debt forgiveness and how that will go by executive order. We'll be turning to the fifth stimulus and what that means as to COLA raise. We'll be turning back to the incredible recon, those Senate changes that are going on top of the existing checks. That may be upwards of $60,000, plus the breaking news about that jobs number, which was astronomically incredible. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds, but first, here is a little bit about the community page on this channel.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues right now on Morning live from Santa Monica, California, with incredible details about your recon. It has been passed in the House, is in now in the Senate, and the recon now has more time to get done because the debt ceiling limit was finalized last night. I told you it would be. Those incredible programs in that recon are going bigger and bolder. I'm going to go over all those checks in this recon. Then we'll be turning to the big money available to pay your bills under third stimulus. You saw me pin someone during the commercial break. It's Heather White, who says, I got rent paid for 12 months and my electric bill. That's how we rock and roll. I'm going to show you how to have incredible success, just like Heather White has right now in the live chat. Student loan debt forgiveness, $10,000? Yes. Will the Democrats take it? They should. This stimulus coming in January, the latest details on that. Plus, I'll have the breaking news about that vote overnight and the latest on that jobs numbers. And with that, I want you to go under this video right now and make sure you hit the subscribe button. Like this video and become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP, so you get the newsletter that comes out Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alert system and the LALATE alert system. And also sign up for the LALATE alert system, which is totally free. It is under the video as well. And with that, so much breaking news across the board. Let's go to the details because guess what? The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering, and the coffee is brewing, and the second half of Morning's LALATE heats up right now, starting with the bacon. The great news on the second half of this video is that the debt ceiling limit was done last night. Finished, complete, moved to February. This is why you stay with this channel, because I told you it was going to be done. It was a quick vote in the House, and it was off to the Senate, and the Senate passed it right now last night. So meaning the debt ceiling limit is no longer an issue to the February. which is great news for your recon because it frees up all the time off the senator's tables so they can focus on your recon. What was the most important thing about the debt ceiling limit vote last night? It was the issue of Joe Manchin. Remember what I always tell you about Joe Manchin? I always tell you he sort of says he's going to vote against something, but when it comes time to vote, he always votes in favor of it, and he votes with the Democrats. That's what happened last night. The Democrats on the House side had included a provision for a mask mandate, and Joe Manchin had previously said he wants it out. Well, guess what? It stayed in there. There was an amendment to take it out called by the Republicans. Everyone thought that Joe Manchin was going to vote with them. And not only did he not vote with them, but also fellow Republicans did not vote with them. It shows you that Joe Manchin, when push comes to shove, he votes with the fellow Democrats. Coming up in a second, I'm going to go over the breaking news about that Jew jobs report because it's huge. I have to go over that incredible detail. But let's go right into this recon that is in the Senate that has lots of checks in there before the addition of a potential MSC. And those checks in there are a lot. They're upwards of at least $45,000 or $50,000. Let's look at those incredible checks, starting with the first one, which is paid leave. They got it in there. $75,000 or more annual salary. That means you would get $1,700 a week. Wow. If your salary is $35,000 more per year, you're getting $800 a week. Incredible. And if your annual salary is only $15,000 a week, you're still going to get $400. $15,000 annual salary, you're going to get at least $400 a week. How many weeks? Up to 4 weeks per year. It's huge. That means you're going to get $5,000 to $6,000 on the top end. And if you don't work, but you live with your son or daughter, and they take off work once a week to take you to the doctor, they're going to get the check for the household. Now, when we look at this paid leave, it was originally on the House side in there at 11 weeks. Joe Manchin said, I don't want it in there. They took it out. Then they put it back in there 4 weeks. Now that at the Senate, the Joe Manchin again says, I want it to come out. Not that he's against it. He wants it to go by bipartisanship, even though no Republicans in favor of it. So 3 opportunities for Leader Schumer. 1, leave it in there and call Joe Manchin's bluff, which you may want to do based upon what happened last night, which is Joe Manchin did bluff, and he did vote in favor of the debt ceiling limit last night. 2, take it out. Or 3, leave it for the Senate parliamentarian for her to ultimately decide whether it stays in there or not. I think that the third option is the best. The next incredible provision in this recon is the big change of the SALT cap. $10,000 was the rule under the 2017 Trump overhaul of the tax code. Now you'll be able to deduct $72,500 of what you pay in state and local taxes on that federal tax return. It's huge. They got in there the big $40 billion of free job training. Very important because millions of Americans are quitting jobs and going to a higher paying job. Now you get the free job training. And a lot of my seniors want to go back in the workforce. You will be able to, under fifth stimulus, and get training for that new job beforehand. They got in there the Medicaid gap fix, which a lot of you is always asking me about. Where's the cheaper medical insurance? Here it is. 12 Republican holdout states refused to pay for it. Obamacare. Now they got a workaround plan in which those Republican states that will offer subsidized private insurance to low-income uninsured people in those states. Wow. Which brings us to the best provisions recon, which is the housing, $150 billion of it, with 3 new provisions: the home repairs, the weatherize your home, and the first-time home purchases. But the 3 provisions from third stimulus are repeated: rent, utilities, and food. And you don't have to wait for third stimulus because guess what? You don't have to wait for fourth stimulus because guess what? You can get it right today with third stimulus. Third stimulus is still paying out. And I've been covering this since day one on this channel. As soon as third stimulus became law, people said, it's just a $1,400 stimulus check. I said, no, it's not. It's a lot of other money in there, lots of checks. Let me show you how to get it. And viewers got on average about $45,000 early this year. But about 2 weeks ago, I brought it back into the coverage on this channel because you have bills to pay. You still have bills to pay. And these are getting your bills paid. And in the last 2 weeks it's been on this channel, every single day I get countless messages on private messaging on social media of viewers having big success stories, on average about $5,000. And you saw during the commercial break, I pinned one viewer in the live chat, and her name again is Heather White. She got 12 months of rent just a few days ago. So that's another success story. We're going to go over this money, how you get it right now. We're going to get some rent, utilities, mortgages, food, and more. We're going to get your bills paid. But first, let's start with some additional big success stories in addition to Helen, and they are Lynn Glenn. Send me a message this morning on Facebook. I got 4 more months of rent, and that is $2,800. Thank you, LA. Thank you for all you do. Bless you. I can't stop watching. Thank you, Lynn. Then yesterday we had D. Taylor, who says I got approved for nearly $3,000 of rent for 4 months. It shows you they're paying $1,200 a month for rent for people. Robin got 3 rounds of electric and 3 rounds of gas this week, and says, you are an angel in disguise, ally. I love Robin's story because I teach you in this video, coming up in a second, how to get multiple rounds for the same item at the same time, different organizations. Then the day before, Madonna in the evenings, LA says, I got back rent, current rent, and I'll get at least 10 more months of rent on top of that. Great job, Madonna. Multiple rounds. Kathy says, she got about $6,000 from this channel this week from 3 items. Thank you, LA. You're godsend. Thank you for watching, Kathy. And this truly embodies what viewers are doing. They're listening to the videos and they're doing exactly what I say. Multiple rounds, multiple items, the same item from 2 different places at the same time. You're following exactly. Mei Lu got nearly about $5,000, and she got $1,000 a month on rent, which is great. Morel got 3 rounds. She got 1 round, and she has 2 more coming. Great. Scarpia got Snap. Jay Grand got $5,000 and says, I speak for all of us. We love you, LA. Love you back. Melissa Justice got about $10,000 this week from several items. Lorica got free lumber in 2022 because that's what powers her home. And Chris is a great story. He got $10,500. He got $10,000 for rent and utilities earlier this year. He says, I've been watching you all week long. I never would have known about this additional sums. And now I got another $5,000 from rent and other items. So get that pen and paper ready. Today is your day. We're going to go over how to get this money for you right now. You qualify. And there's money in every single state. If you're in a red state or blue state, married or single, children or no children, behind on bills, not behind on bills, you qualify. And how do you do it? Here we go. You want to first get that rent. Let's look at the numbers for rent because, boy, it is a lot of money. It was $20,000 to $30,000 on this channel about 3 months ago. This was the graphic then. It has now grown to $40,000 of rent. If you watched the live chat yesterday, I believe it was the afternoon show or evenings, one viewer on the live chat said she got $30,000 of rent this week. If you saw that viewer and remember her, send me a private message with her name. It was incredible. I pinned her comment as soon as I saw it. The rent now has gone up to $40,000 that viewers are getting. So where do you get this rent? This is all detailed in the newsletter for members, but here you go for my non-members. 6 places. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall, and State House Authority. And keywords you can say are rent assistance because of COVID. Rent or mortgage utility assistance because of COVID. And there you go. There are 3 musts. You must reach out to all 6 places. You must get multiple rounds, which means if you got a round earlier this year, get another round today. If you got a round yesterday from one organization, get another round from a different organization today. And finally, put applications on file everywhere. Utilities, it's gone up a lot. $15,000 is what Mark's brother-in-law is getting. Wow. Reach out to all utility companies, and you're asking for utility assistance because of COVID. SNAP, this is money for food. If you got a third stimulus check, why are you paying for your own food? Get on SNAP. Department of Agriculture, Mark's brother-in-law is getting $25,000 a year. Over 10 years, it's going to be $250,000. Combo. I told viewers several months ago, watch Nisi and Art Sullivan. They both had 3 items, and I said, you do the same, get at least 3 items. Here was Mark at the time. He had 2 items, $32,000. I said to Mark, go get that 3rd item, and he did. It brought him to $50,000. Now Mark is at over $100,000. Lorraine, she was at 105. Now she's at 120, which truly embodies what we're looking at right today. And if you saw the live chat yesterday, one viewer in the live chat said he got for his family $135,000 from third stimulus this week. Biggest payout of this channel, and I told you the numbers are going big, so continue to do this across the board. That brings us to Johnny with the incredible inspirational and informational story. 3 parts, starting with the first part. Johnny heard the recordings on this channel, and 1 week started with $0 by the middle of the week. Within 3 days, he had $45,000 from 3 programs. He and 2 other viewers, 3 programs, $45,000. Good. But I tell you, keep on pushing, get as many checks as you can. By the weekend, Johnny had gotten 7 programs approved. Now, to get 7 programs approved, Johnny had to have made at least 15 phone calls because you're going to get some no's. You're going to get a couple of no's. So Johnny probably had about 7 or 8 no's and had about 7 yeses. How much did Johnny get? $80,000 in 1 week. Yes, $80,000 in 1 week. To which any viewer who says in the live chat something like, I called one place, I understand how this works, I got to know. You're not listening, because that's what Johnny doesn't do. Johnny got 8 no's, but he also got 7 yeses, and that's how he got 80,000. Part 2 of Johnny's incredible story. He reached out to his family members the following Monday, saying, I got $80,000 on YouTube from watching LALATE. They said, I've heard about him. Where'd you get that $80,000 from, Johnny? He said, Third Stimulus. They said, Johnny, I haven't heard this mentioned on broadcast meeting. He says, they don't cover it. He covers it. LALATE covers it. Let me show you how to get it. And by the end of the week, they each got $50,000. They went from non-believers to believers. What's at issue? LA is now the number 1 3 financial news channel in America. And yet, there's a lot of different financial news subjects to cover. I don't cover some. They don't cover some. So I don't cover SPACs. What? SPACs? Yeah, I don't cover SPACs. And just because I don't cover SPACs doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Well, just because they don't cover this doesn't mean it doesn't exist either. That's how we rock and roll, which brings us to the third update from Johnny. It came in last Sunday. I was watching Sunday Night Football and came the private message from Johnny on Instagram. He said, I want to give you an update. Oh, what was the update? He said it just sort of snowballed. People kept on stopping by the house and asking what I was doing. And I told them about LA, and I showed them the videos. They started watching, and it snowballed for them. And with your help, I've helped 32 people get $850,000. Yes, this is money across the board. You qualify. Get that money right today. You can do the same thing as those 32 people did as well. And let's go back into that 4 stimulus recon, which we left off at the housing assistance. The 3 new provisions for housing in there are the home repairs, the first-time home purchases, and the weatherize your home. Weatherize your home would be for everyone, we're told. The first-time home purchases would be given to the seller at the time of escrow, and the home repairs is for those low-income homes, which brings us to back into that recon. What else are those incredible checks? So get that pen and paper ready again. So they got in there the $40 billion of free job training, very important. Excuse me, $150 billion of home health care for seniors and people on disabilities. And then they got in there the $550 check for the college students on the Pell Grant, which brings us to one of the best provisions, Recon, $12,500 for the purchase of a new electric vehicle. Yes, this is huge. In 2019, you may have walked into a dealership, looked at the window sticker, and it said $30,000 minus $7,500 federal tax rebate. That rebate means you don't get the discount at the time of purchase. So you go to the dealer, you pay at the register, you're paying $30,000. You're filing the tax return, you're asking the $7,500 refund, waiting, still waiting, wait some more, still waiting. Oh, finally it comes, the refund check from IRS, $7,500. That's not this. This means at the time of purchase, you pay less. At the time of purchase, you pay $12,500 less because that money is given to the seller by the federal government. Wow, incredible, great news. Now, one of the provisions of that section I think that needs to be modified is the language that violates, in my opinion, U.S. trade policies with Mexico, Canada, which says you cannot encourage the buying of one item over another item in the same country or the other country. Let's go over the example. Cadillac Lyriq, electric, and the Ford Mustang Mach-E, also electric, both SUVs. Well, one is made by GM, qualifies. One is made by Ford, qualifies, because they're U.S. auto manufacturers. They must be U.S. auto manufacturers. Number 2, they're both electric, qualifies. Number 3, they are made by unionized labor. Yeah, they both qualify. Ford unionized labor and GM unionized labor. So what is the last ingredient? The union workers working on the Cadillac work in Tennessee. The U.S. unionized laborers working on the Ford are working in Mexico. Doesn't qualify. Hold up. I don't think that can slide under the rules of trade embargoes. So I think that has to be modified. They got $65 a month when the kid is not in school for nutrition, which brings us to the best provision of this entire recall, which is a cheaper medication. The medication will be Medicare Part B, Medicare Part D. The most expensive, like diabetes, cancer, and arthritis, will be dramatically sliced across the board. For example, an insulin dose will go from $1,000 to $35. The number of and the price a point of those medications, 20 of them on day one, will stay where they are. They cannot increase more than the rate of inflation. And if they do, there's a penalty provision in there. Really? Can't have a penalty provision, says Pat Toomey, the Republican senator. I think he's right. And that is among the provisions the Senate parliamentarian is likely to look at this week or next week. First, penalty provision, I think it goes out. Next, immigration reform. She previously ruled it cannot go by recon. So I think that's coming out. And then that brings us to the provision after that, which is paid leave. Well, you want her to sort of rule on it so that we would solve the situation of whether it stays in or not before making a bloodbath with Joe Manchin. And that brings us back to the Senate add-ons. You see the graphic on the screen. 15,000? Yeah, you see already, it ain't 15,000. It's clearly 50 to 60,000 because we have all those checks from third stimulus in there. We have the money for the car in there. And then we have all those other add-ons. And that's before we get to the Senate changes. And the senators all represent, it's a good bill, but there's major things that need to be added, major missing gaps. And that's why you need to advocate to those same 6 senators. They're Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. The same 6 senators want to give you an MSC say that the recon is missing major provisions in there. And with that, let's go back to some of those incredible provisions that are in there and how you get them. The provisions in there that are also very lucrative are the child care credit, which is a back-end credit check. The CTC, which is a front-end check, about $3,600. They got in there the universal pre-kindergarten front-end check 1 year. The earned income tax credit for my essential workers, 1 year back-end check. We went over the hearing aid, that would be a front-end check. We went over the home health care, that is a covered benefit. And the Pell Grant, a check, $550. The nutrition, $65 a month. And the housing we went over as well. So what else do they want to add in there? Bernie, in addition to adding in an MSC, wants to add in there 3 other provisions. And those are the following. Lowering the eligibility age of Medicare, dental, and vision. How would those evolve? Well, Bernie wants to drop the eligibility age for Medicare from where it is right now at 65 to 55. Bob Casey wants to do it 60. Next, Bernie wants to do 10 years of full benefits for dental. Can't do it. It's too expensive. He offered 3 years of full benefits. I think that works. What doesn't work was the last offer on the table, which was $850 checks for free dental. And it doesn't work because there's not enough money for procedures for people who are seniors. Next, Bernie wants to put in their vision. An eye exam per year and a pair of frames. Pretty simple. It's simple until frame wars come back to this channel. But for now, let's turn to student loan debt forgiveness because there's so much breaking news today, which is still coming up later in this video. Student loan debt forgiveness, the executive order offer on the table. $10,000 to be forgiven immediately. Democrats should take it. The president previously forgave student loan debts for people who went to work in the nonprofit sector and people who went to work in the public sector 10 years after graduation. The latest offer should be taken. Then COLA. A lot of questions overnight, new questions, about fifth stimulus and COLA. So let's go over each of them right now. Your benefits are going up 5.9% January 1. And this is for all my beneficiaries across the board, but that's not enough because COLA hasn't moved for many, many years. So fifth stimulus seeks to solve this problem. Raising your benefits up one time to get you caught up to parity, then applying a new benchmark every December in 2022 and thereafter, that would be inflation, which is 2 to 3%. They're going to remove the asset cap, preventing you from having more than $12,000 in hand. It's going to go away. Now you'll be able to have a stimulus check in hand. Remove the income cap, preventing you from working. Now you're able to work if you want and still stay on benefits. And remove the marriage penalty. And love is going to win, and you'll be able to do a pair dance at your own wedding like Rob and Sandy. So this COLA benefit has caused a lot of confusion. First, that letter means much of nothing. If you haven't received the letter, you're still getting the increase. The letter is just a by-the-way letter. So you don't have to get the letter to receive the increase. Number 2, everyone is increasing at the same rate. It's 5.9%. Last night, some people were confusing people, saying people's benefits are going up different amounts. Well, yeah, it's a percentage increase. It's not a dollar increase. It's not like they're increasing everyone $10, $20. They're increasing you by percentage, 5.9%. Everyone is getting a 5.9% increase. There's no different number. Number 3, is it increase coming in December? For some people, it is. We've had some veterans saying they got the 5.9% increase on the December check this month, when it's really only supposed to start in January. Very fascinating. Are your benefits on Medicare going to be impacted? No, not at all. And meantime, let me go over my commentary on what happened with that massive blowout jobs number this morning. It's a monthly number. And like many other numbers, it has one number that is called the frontline number because it's the most known number in the announcement every month. It then has other numbers in there. Well, what happened today was that the top line number, the lead number, was a bad number. It came in poor. It was the number of jobs created in the month previous, and they were looking at 500,000, came in at 200,000. So it was a big miss. It was a bad number. But the rest of the numbers that were in the report today were astronomically incredible. First, total unemployment number, the lowest since almost 2019. 97% of Americans are now employed. This is absolutely incredible. This is the best unemployment number we have ever seen in the history of this channel. It's huge. Millions of Americans are now employed, the lowest unemployment number we've seen in nearly 2 years, far before the pandemic. Number two, the number of people employed who are minorities is the best we have seen since 2019. So dramatic drop of unemployment numbers among Latinos and African Americans. It's astronomically great news. Number three, job participant number improved dramatically, meaning these are people who had left the workforce, were sitting by the wayside and not returning back to work for whatever reason it is. It may have been because they wanted to wait until COVID settled down. Well, the labor participant number was great, meaning millions of Americans who had walked away from the workforce had now re-entered the workforce this week. It's big for you. It's huge for employers because it means there's less labor shortage. And yes, the next number was the labor shortage. It showed that the labor shortage number dropped dramatically, improved dramatically, meaning any shortage of labor the month before is now dramatically better. How does this impact you directly? Inflation. Inflation is caused by supply chain, and supply chain is caused by lack of available workers who don't want to participate in the workforce. Well, guess what? More truck drivers, more trucking, more deliveries, less shortage of goods, prices drop. So this is on a trajectory of incredible, great financial news. It's the best financial news we've seen on this channel, I think, ever. It was an absolute blowout number that shows that millions of Americans are no longer employed. The lowest unemployment number on this channel ever. It shows that people who were on the wayside that did not want to return to the labor workforce were, and that the labor shortage is dropping dramatically, improving dramatically, which all signals great news for you if you don't work and you're a retiree. Great news if you're worried about inflation. It's going to drop dramatically and quickly. Number three, it also signals that employers won't have shortages to get you products. They can do it cheaper across the board. With that, we're expected to see 2 rate hikes from the Federal Reserve, 2 interest rate hikes next year because the economy is on full ignition switch. And with that, one of the most anticipated shows of the holiday season has been back. It's been back for about a week, and we're just having a lot of fun. We're having a lot of fun. It's every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m., live on air. And what is it? It's holidays, LA. The first half of the show is about this. The second half of the show is about the holidays. Decor, food, desserts, more. If you miss it, here again is Holidays, LA, coming up in about 2 hours from now. And that's Holidays LA coming up in 60 minutes from now. I didn't know it was already 10 o'clock on the West Coast. It's 60 minutes from now, Holidays LA live on air. Meantime, if you missed the announcement yesterday on this channel, I was excited and you were as well. One of the most anticipated new shows coming to this channel is something in a little bit of a different direction, but it's consistent with what we've always done, cashing checks. And if you want to make more money, I'm going to show you how in the metaverse. The metaverse is coming to this channel with a brand new limited run series during this holiday season that shows you how to go on the metaverse, how to get into the metaverse, and how to make money, lots of money. It's a topic not shown on this channel, never in a live broadcast, and never in an interactive forum like you see on this channel. It's going to be the first entry to take you on into the metaverse live daily and show you how to make money in the metaverse daily. It's an exciting show and truly embodies everything about this channel, which is community, which is the metaverse, interacting people, which is the metaverse, making money, which is the metaverse, and learning how to move around and how to get from point A to point B and cash checks, not track checks. It's all in the metaverse, and it's coming to this channel as a new, exciting, interactive show. And if you want a visual about what it's going to look like, it's basically going to look like me here and also an animated version of me here at the same time. Yeah, never seen me in an animated form? Well, now you will in a live show coming to this channel shortly. Meantime, let's turn to the other excitement, which is three divas in a room. No, not Nancy, Chuck, and Liz Warren. I'm talking about Javina Light, Sirloin, and Blaine 66 for the first time ever in one hysterical comedy show, humor-only broadcast coming to this channel in just a few days. It's Calcino. I don't know how it's going to evolve with one guy that likes to eat beef ribs and one likes to protect his ribs. But that's Calcino coming to this channel just a few days from now. And here again is Calcino. And to recap, if you're just joining late in the show, the breaking news is that the debt ceiling limit was resolved last night, passed in both the House and Senate. The bill is now on the president's table to be signed into law. The debt ceiling limit moved to February, freeing up time to do your recon in the Senate ASAP. The second detail was that Joe Manchin voted in favor of the legislation last night, even after he said he was going to vote against it, signaling that he often votes in favor of legislation when he says he isn't. Number three, that we now have 5 of 6 of our senator advocates saying they're putting in at least one or more stimulus checks. That's why you need to advocate. The remainder that has not spoken yet in the last 7 days is Ron Wyden. So reach out to Ron Wyden's office today. And finally, the big news is that new labor number released this morning, numbers released this morning were blowouts, showing the greatest unemployment number we've seen since 2019, showing people having jobs, returning to the workforce, signaling that inflation will be coming down very quickly, less labor shortage, less wage inflation. All that great news will be detailed more on Noontime's Holidays LA coming up in just a few minutes. And with that, I want you to subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes. Become part of the third financial news channel in America. Number 3 financial news channel in America. Like the video and consider becoming a member of those LA alerts, which is totally free. The link is under the video. Have a beautiful day. Stay informed, stay focused, stay smiling, and stay with LA for more.